Welcome to Bravehearts, the podcast dedicated to honoring heroes, both human and animal. Personal heroes, national heroes, and unknown heroes. These courageous souls risk their lives so others can live, and it's our mission to give them the recognition and respect they truly deserve. These are the stories we want to tell. Stay tuned and be inspired.
Welcome to our next episode. We are happy to have you all back. And this episode, we're going to do some smaller stories and we're going to each go back and forth. We've got 2 stories each. So here we are. Enjoy.
Yeah, hope you enjoy.
Okay, my first story is about a wonderful lady who goes by the nickname Lek. And I tried to look up how to pronounce her name, but I couldn't find a pronunciation, so I'm just probably going to slaughter it. But she goes by Lek, so I'm just going to make that clear. Her name is Sang Duin Lek Chalere. I don't know. I just made that sound French. She's Thai.
Lek sounds like a good name to go by.
Yes. Lek, she is an elephant lover. She grew up in Thailand and she witnessed the extreme harm and mistreatment that a lot of these elephants go through in Thailand. For example, I don't know if many of you know, or if Michelle, if you know this, that riding elephants is actually really bad for their backs.
Oh.
And yeah, they're not made to be ridden. They just don't have the bone structure for it. A lot of these elephants also suffer through logging practices. They're also used as street elephants for tourism. They're forced to breed, and they also are forced to do unnatural behaviors. They also struggle through social isolation, poor living conditions, physical violence, and harsh training methods. In a documentary that I watched when I was studying abroad in Thailand, you learn how they literally have to break the animal's soul. They essentially chain up these baby elephants until they are so broken and depleted that they don't even remember what their mother was like.
Oh.
Yeah.
And elephants are such social, intelligent animals. So
yeah, they are.
I've seen the videos of the little elephants and they're just hitting their heads on the wall.
It's so hitting sad. Their heads or swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been told in zoos, or maybe not necessarily AZA zoos, but private zoos or smaller zoos that are not AZA accredited, that's the animals showing that they're happy. But for all animals, when they're pacing back and forth a lot or they're standing in place swaying side to side, it's actually a sign of stress.
Yeah.
So Lek, because she saw all of these terrible things happening to these elephants in Thailand, she decided that she wanted to start rescuing these elephants. And she started rescuing elephants from circumstances like these in the 1990s. And in 2003, she created a permanent home for them, which is called the Elephant Nature Park, which is located in northern Thailand.
Is that the same one that you went to or not?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and I actually had the privilege to meet Lek when I was there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's just a wonderful lady. She has such a bond with these elephants, and she's so dedicated to helping them know that they're safe. And you can see that actually when she goes out and works with the elephants, or when she goes out with the little bit of time that she has to go out and see the elephants. Lek has received the following awards for all of the things that she's done for these elephants. She received the Women Heroes of Global Conservation in 2010, the Legion d'Honneur, I think that's a French one, award in 2022, one of Time Magazine's Heroes of Asia in 2025, the Ford Foundation's Hero of the Planet in 2001, and the Genus Award from the Humane Society of the United States in 2003 and 2019.
Wow. That's so awesome.
So she's been recognized across the world for her dedication in elephant conservation, not only in Thailand. And I had a really cool opportunity when I was there in 2022 to watch her interact with these elephants. And one of my favorite memories was when, I don't remember what we were celebrating or what Lek was celebrating, someone's birthday or some sort of important event. and they had taken a bunch of fruit cakes. So not like actual cake, but just like elephant safe cakes that are just a
Mm.
bunch of fruit and rice out to the elephants. And some of these elephants that had come from one of their other enclosures, moving to their night stalls, started running when they saw Lek. And they went up and they were rubbing their
Oh.
trunks all over her and sniffing her and wrapping their trunks around her and giving her like a hug. At least that's what it looked like. So
Oh.
it was really wonderful. It's from watching those elephants, you can really tell that they do love her. I'm not sure that that's what it would look like, but that's what I would imagine it would look like because she truly is their hero.
Oh, and I'm sure they remember that and like, okay, this is the lady that saved me from my horrible life I had before. So,
Yeah.
and I read
Yeah.
this thing once that the same part of our brain that lights up when we see puppies is the same part of elephants' brains when they see us.
What?
Yeah. And so it's
Oh,
like they
that's so
see us as
cute.
these like we think they're cute, but they're like, "Oh, look at these humans.
Look at them.
They're so
That's so
cute."
cool. I'll
Yeah.
have to look into that more.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
That is really interesting. There is actually a documentary about Lek and some of her, or one specific rescue that she did, and it's called Love and Bananas. If anyone wants to watch it, it's really
Oh.
cute.
And where's that at? On?
It's on Prime Video, Tubi, and Google Play, YouTube, Apple TV, Fandango.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's a really great documentary.
That's so cool. I want to watch it now and see like, "Oh, that's where Elizabeth was."
Yeah, it's super fun.
And is this the same place that she also helped more than just elephants, right? They or was it a different place that you did cats and dogs in?
Yeah, she did help more than elephants. We primarily worked with the elephants when we were there, but she also has a bunch of Thai ridgebacks that are needing homes
Mm,
and other cats, monkeys, bunch of animals, primarily elephants, but lots of different animals.
that's so
Donkeys.
awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, my story's a little bit different. It's about a dog and a state trooper. And this dog is named Ruby, and she's an American shepherd or an Australian shepherd border collie mix. And she was left at a shelter when she was about 8 months old. The owner's like, she's too crazy and rambunctious, and gave her away to the shelter. And she was returned 5 different times. So after 8 months, she was, yeah, five
That's so
times she was,
sad.
yeah, because no one was willing to put in the time with her. She was just too rambunctious and full of energy. And they said she was unadoptable because she was unmanageable. So there's a woman named Patricia Inman, and she worked, and this is in Rhode Island. So she worked for the Rhode Island Society for the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals. And she was like, Ruby's such a good dog. She just needs a job. She's not going to be like a house dog, but she just needs a job. That's just what she needs. And she tried to work with her and train her, but she was just kind of having a hard time. So she and this other guy reached out to the state police, and they're like, "Hey, look, we think we have this dog that would be good to help you." And she was within 2 hours of being euthanized. And the man named Dan was able to connect with the state police and was able to give Ruby her sixth chance now at a better life. So there's a man named O'Neill, and he was a law enforcement agent, and he always dreamt of being a canine handler. Like he wanted to do search and rescue, always did. But him and his wife were expecting a baby, and with their agency, they had to provide their own dog. And so a lot of these other handlers would buy these dogs that were bred for search and rescue, German shepherds from out of
Mhm.
country. Like they had all these dogs, but that's a lot of money. And so he's like, I can't afford it. And his wife was like, well, I just heard about this rescue dog. Why don't you go to the shelter and try to do that? And it's not, so he's like, okay, it's not really common to have a search and rescue, at least for that area, for the search and rescue. So he finally said, okay, I'm going to do this. And he's like, I remember I was a troubled kid. Like, no, I was always in and out of trouble, but nobody else gave up on me. Like, there's always people to help. So he's like, I'm not going to give up on this dog. So
Oh.
yeah. So he's like, okay, I'm going to give her a chance. So most of the search and rescue dogs take about a couple months to train. Like within the year, they're usually trained and ready to start. But Ruby would need about 18 months of training. But he never gave up on her. And in 2011, Ruby was finally a certified canine trooper. 6 years after she was officially a trooper, she would show everybody how remarkable she was. So a call came in about a boy who, from the Gloucester Police Department, that he was 19 years old. He went hiking and he had been gone. So he had been missing for about 36 hours. And they went right to work searching for this boy. And hours had gone by. They were searching for him for about 8 hours. And they were at a loss. All of a sudden, Ruby dashed off down these hills and they really couldn't find. She just booked it and ran. And so he's trying to like follow where she went down these hills to get to her. And she would just bark every once in a while until the handler O'Neill found her, and she was laying by a kid, and all he saw was like a pair of boots. So he quickly made his way down there, and he thought the boy was dead. The dirt wasn't moving, or the boots weren't moving. He knew the boy was in trouble, and they're able to get the rescue in. And he said it was really hard because he's a dad, and then he's out there and he just sees this kid that they've just been searching for, and he's just at a loss.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, yeah. But he's like, as a trooper, I pushed my emotion aside. I was happy for Ruby because we found the boy. But so he was in critical condition, but he was able to call his mom and say, we found your son. He's alive. So Trooper O'Neill reported back to his mother, and she was so grateful. She's like, I can't believe it. You know, it really means a lot for the search and rescue dog to do it, because back in 2011, I actually helped a dog be adopted into the state troopers. And
it's Ruby.
Yes. And so he said, Pat, the dog that you helped all those times and get adopted and then became a trooper just saved your son. And so like, yeah. So it was like full circle. Ruby was the one who saved her son, and he would make a full recovery and went to college.
Like she didn't give up on Ruby, and Ruby didn't give up on her. That's so cute.
Ruby was honored for her work through the American Human Hero Dog Award in 2018. She was on the cover of Rhode Island Monthly magazine and was honored by the state troopers. And she would pass away in May of 2022 because she had cancer. They served for 10 years together, though, and she would save 3 lives, locate countless missing people, and she even helped in some murder investigations and helped locate like numerous criminals. So, yeah, she's quite amazing. And there's actually a Netflix movie that's based off of her, and it's called Saved by Ruby. I haven't watched it, so I don't know like the accuracy to like the story and the reports I read, but apparently it's a really cute movie and it's a really cute story. So
we'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
That's so
Saved
cute.
by Ruby. Yeah. I thought that was so cool.
Like, what kind of world do we live in that just comes full circle?
Right? Like, the dog that you saved 6 years later is the one that would eventually find your son.
This blows my mind.
Yeah. Amazing.
God is good.
God is good.
My next story is actually a more recent story about a rescue performed by a cruise ship crew. So, let's jump into it. Dustin Leonard and Helena Franzik had a dream to sail around the world in their catamaran. However, on their way to Fiji, a massive storm tore off the mast and left them stranded 170 nautical miles from New Caledonia. The couple, along with their 2 crew members, Ivan and Julie, which were both Argentina locals, and Dustin and Helena's 3 dogs, knew that they were in immediate danger. And Dustin knew that they couldn't panic because it would just make everything worse. So, in an effort to signal for help, they shot a flare into the sky, and by the light of the flare, they saw a cruise ship in the distance.
Oh man.
Yeah, like
That's like
what
so
would you
like
be
you're lost
thinking?
at sea and you're like, I just hope somebody sees this. And you see a cruise ship, you're like, oh, thank goodness.
Right? The ship that was out was the Carnival Splendor, and the four of them decided that they needed to send out a distress call. And this is the call that resulted in the rescue that was performed by the Splendor and its crew. One of the brand ambassadors of the Carnival Cruise Line shared a letter written by Ivan and Julie, who were the two crew members for Dustin and Helena. And in this letter, they explained that they had been traveling from Australia to Fiji, and at this point, they had been out at sea for 8 days. They had lost both their engines before the storm, and when the storm took their mast, they lost all forms of possible momentum towards Fiji.
Literally at the mercy of the sea. Like where
Yeah,
the tide takes you, you go. Cause
yeah, because they couldn't use their sails for wind, and they didn't have any engines, so they're just at the mercy of the sea.
dang.
In this storm, everyone was worried that the mast would be turned and hit the ship or the catamaran perfectly to put a hole in it and result in its sinking before the Splendor that would arrive. Because the Splendor was, I mean, they could see the Splendor, but it wasn't like it was close.
Oh,
It
okay.
took them 5 hours.
Yeah, so they weren't even close at all.
Yeah, so they were close enough for them to be able to see them. I'm not sure if they like just saw it kind of in the distance or if they saw the lights of the cruise ship in the distance.
Oh, yeah.
So they sat in the catamaran for 5 hours, worrying that this mast was going to put a hole in it and they would be in the water.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Splendor made it before anything else could happen. And because the Splendor is a cruise ship, it is much larger than this catamaran. Like hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
times larger.
Yeah.
And to avoid sinking this catamaran, they had to be very careful in their approach because they didn't want to get too close and pull it under or
Mm.
anything like that. They also, these four people and their three dogs, had to board the Splendor, which is also much taller than the catamaran.
Oh, yeah.
And so this was accomplished using a Jacob's ladder.
Back to the Jacob's ladder.
Back to the
How
Jacob's
did they
ladder. So
get the
they,
dogs up there?
I couldn't find exactly how they did that. I do know that the dogs went up first.
Hmm.
So I don't know if they took the dogs up like part way and then maybe handed them off to each other, but I know that they
Mm.
got the dogs off the catamaran first, handed them over to the team on the deck, and then the four people came up.
Wow.
So I'm not sure how that all happened, but Dustin, Helena, Ivan, and Julie all made it safely on aboard the Splendor as well as their three pups.
That's a miracle. That's awesome. Right place,
Yeah.
right time.
I actually wanted to read some direct quotes from Ivan and Julie's letter about their gratitude and thanks to the cruise line. Okay, they said, there are no words to thank you all for being part of this recovery and exceeding expectations. We will be forever grateful. Special thanks to Captain Eduardo Ferreno for being our guiding light in the middle of the ocean, giving us hope by making the call to save us and taking us back to land. Thank you to the cruise director and hotel director, Lizzie Clow and Francis McKetticlum. I'm going to butcher some of these names. Please forgive me. For the warm welcome, for guiding us through everything, and for your kind words. A big thanks from our hearts to the great services manager, Kamlesh Tamta, for always taking care of us and being our Holy Spirit on board. Thanks to the chief engineer, Gabriel Antonazzo, and all the people on the first floor awake on the night of our recovery, who increased the cruise speed to save us as fast as you could, and to all those hanging from the edge of the cruise to pick us up safely from one boat to the other. Thanks to all the crew on board, from the kitchen for giving us our first meal after getting on board, to housekeeping for giving the best sleep after 8 nights of none in the ocean, to entertainment for putting back a smile on our faces, and guest services for always helping us with everything. Finally,
Oh,
last but not least, thanks to all who helped and received us that night, from doctors to guards, to all of you. Thanks for the warm words and treatment. This would have been a different story if it wasn't for you. We will forever be grateful to Carnival Cruise Line.
That's amazing. They are like so grateful. But yeah, I also, I know you said at night, but I know there's probably someone always awake on a cruise ship, but that they were paying attention enough to notice them, and then that everyone knew what to do. 'Cause I'm sure they practice it, and I don't know. I'm sure it's not a very common occurrence to have these rescue missions. So it's like, okay, they remember their training, everyone did what they were supposed to, and many lives were saved. So
Yeah. And they also were able, like, how grateful we should be that we have the technology that we can use radios and stuff like that. Because they made that distress call, they were able to get in contact with the correct people. And then I don't remember what island or station it was, reached out to the Splendor and told them that the catamaran needed to be saved.
that's awesome.
Dustin and Helena's plans are on hold to sail around the world, but I'm sure they'll be back at it.
And when was this? When did this happen?
This was May 25th, I believe.
Wow. So just like a few months ago.
Yeah, so the report was made the Washington Post ran it the 24th. So sometime in
Okay.
May.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays they put newspaper articles before, like, this just happened. How is this already written and done?
Yeah. Like the CEO. All
Yeah.
the memes that are going around about the
Oh,
CEO at the Coldplay concert.
They call it, have you seen the ones that it's like the Coldplay cam? And now, like, at all the other stadiums.
Did you see the one the Phillies did of their mascots?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's so good.
man. The world we live in.
Right. All right. So first I'm going to ask you a quick question that will transition us into this. What is your favorite movie about kids that were raised by animals, or a kid that was raised by an animal?
I love this question. Answer that comes to my mind, without a doubt, Tarzan.
Oh, yeah. Tarzan.
I love
Also just like a really good movie.
What
So,
about you?
I think Tarzan.
Yeah.
I like the story of the Jungle Book, but it wasn't one of my favorite movies.
King Louis kind of scared me.
Yeah, and it's like a fun movie, but with all the different
Yeah.
animals and stuff. But I think Tarzan has to be
I also couldn't think
my
of any
favorite.
other ones.
Yeah, I mean, there's Mowgli, Tarzan. There's not many, is there? I'm sure there has to be other ones. So anyway, this story is actually where they got the inspiration from the Jungle Book. This story I got is from All That's Interesting. And in 1867, there's these hunters that were out in the Uttar Pradesh jungle of India. And they saw this small little human boy that was in the cave with a bunch of wolves. And they're like, what the heck? Like, we got to rescue this boy. So they tried what they could to try to get the boy to come out, and he wouldn't. And he was like walking on all fours. And so they tried to smoke out the wolves, and that wasn't really working. And the main female kept protecting this boy, standing in front of him, guarding him. And they actually had to kill the female to get the boy out. She would not let them even near him.
Goodness.
Yeah, he walked on all fours. He couldn't speak, and he only howled and growled. So they took him to like an orphanage mission where they would try to integrate him back into the human world. But he only would want to eat meat. They tried everything, and he would only eat meat. And his teeth, he would like sharpen on bones. And he eventually was able to walk upright and dress himself, but he never did learn how to speak. But he picked up a few things of like sign language. But they're saying because he was, as far as they know, they don't even know how long he's been with the wolves. But wolves don't use their hands to like point. So when they tried to like point to something for him to like mimic, he didn't understand what they were doing. He's like, what are you? It wasn't a gesture that he was used to. So he lived till 35 and he died of tuberculosis. It was just the story of this boy being found in wolves that would give the inspiration to the Jungle Book.
Wow.
So I found that like really interesting. And I was reading that if they're finding that if humans don't speak before the age of like 5 or 6, the likelihood of them ever learning to speak is almost zero.
Wow.
And so the pivotal years of them learning how to speak needs to be done. And so this he wasn't able to, but these wolves had taken him in and provided him with enough
Interesting.
protection and food that he survived at least a couple years far as they know into the jungle.
From what you read, did it say how old he was when they found him?
I think they said he was about 5 or 6, if I
Okay.
remember right. And then
So
so
crazy.
Yeah. And so I have another story that goes along, not really along with this, but it's a similar one. And so in 1989, there's a man named John Sabonia, and he was in Uganda, and he was a small boy, about 4 or 5. He doesn't quite remember how old he was, and he was playing outside one day, and he heard his mom and dad fighting again. And then it just got worse and worse, and then he witnessed his father killing his mom. So he ran out and ran away, and he ran into the wilderness, and he's a young boy. He was 4 or 5, and he's not able to find water for himself or find food. So he saw these monkeys and decided he was just going to follow the monkeys and mimic them. So he started out just kind of like following behind them. They would go and get fruit, so he would follow where they found the fruit so he could eat it, or figure out where they were drinking so he could drink water. It wasn't long before the monkeys would kind of adopt him into their troop and start helping him and giving him some of the food. They would like show him where the fruit was to eat, how to get safe water. He did walk on all fours, and he initially was talking in like grunts and howls, like would howl like the monkeys do. And years went by, and some villagers found him, and so they spotted him and they tried to rescue the boy. And just like the wolves, though, the monkeys were protecting him. One of the mom monkeys, the people said, were like holding on to him as the humans
Wow.
came in and tried to take him away. He was really undeveloped, malnourished, but they were able to get him, and he was taken to an orphanage, and they taught him again how to speak, and they worked on his motor skills, and he was able to get a lot better. And this is one of the rare cases that he was actually able to pick up and learn how to speak properly. He has beaten the odds. He has learned how to speak and communicate and come back into civilization, and he even travels around and sings in a choir.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool and just a fun.
Was that what Tarzan's based off of then?
Maybe. Now I don't condone
Maybe.
just going out in the wilderness and try to get animals to
Adopt you.
teach you how to adopt you. Yeah, but there are a few cases that
It has worked sometimes.
it has worked. Yeah.
How old did you say he was?
He said he's probably around 4 or 5.
Oh,
And then it said he lived a couple years
that's so crazy.
out in there. Yeah. So he was 4 or 5 as far as he remembers.
My mother heart breaks thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
just
can't
like
imagine.
squishing.
So sad.
Yeah, that's so sad. If my little girl ran away and was adopted by monkeys, I would die.
Yeah, right? I can just picture the twins. He would have been about the twins' age.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me even sadder.
Yeah.
Well, glad none of our kids are running away at this point.
Right?
Hopefully never.
Right.
Okay, well, I've got a couple questions for you, Michelle.
Let's hear them.
First one, since we talked about conservationists a little bit, we talked about Lex, she's a conservationist. Who is your favorite conservationist and why?
All right. So I was looking at all these different conservation because there's, like ones everyone knows, like Jane Goodall. And I really like David Attenborough. But when I was researching, I really like her name is Megan Parker. And she has co-founded Working Dogs for Conservation. So she trains dogs to help in conservation efforts. So they've trained the dogs in odor detection to let's see. This is the organized dedicated to non-invasive data collection on endangered species, the eradication of invasive species, and the termination of wildlife trafficking. Some of the dogs they teach to find invasive plants. So they pick up on the invasive plants so they can locate where they are and get rid of them. They can
That's so
also,
cool.
yeah, they teach them to detect different odors of scat. So if they're like, okay, we're trying to find this fox. We don't know if this fox is in this area, whether it's endangered or invasive. And the dogs are trained to find the poop. If there's poop or scat, there's the animal. And so they're
Yeah.
able to do that. And then she works a lot in Africa. And so their dogs are trained for like gunpowder and ivory. And so they're able to so they've done a lot of work with conservation, whether it's stopping invasive animals or species of plants from invading and taking over, or stopping poaching.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see what she does. And she uses mainly rescue dogs. So they go around, and a lot of the ones she gets are also from the United States. So they find the dogs that are like, these dogs are crazy, kind of like Ruby. Like they unadoptable. She just tries to find those dogs that are high drive, that will never stop playing fetch or never will do anything for their toy. She goes around finding the dogs that are really unadoptable, and she trains them to do that. She trains them to detect scat, ivory, bushmeat, gunpowder, and invasive species.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I was like, that is awesome.
I was having a hard time picking a favorite conservationist because, as you said, there's so many well-known conservationists. There's also a lot of unknown conservationists or not well-known. And I wanted to pick the one that I'm doing for my episode this next week,
Mm.
but I decided that I'd let you guys all wait and find out about him when I tell my story. So instead, I chose Rachel Carson. Have you heard of Rachel Carson before, Michelle?
Mm-mm. I haven't.
So, Rachel Carson, she was a journalist and she published a book titled Silent Spring. And this book was really instrumental in the steps that were taken forward in the control of pesticides.
Oh.
Her book is primarily based on the effects of DDT, which is a pesticide that's very harmful for people. And in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it was used in everything: wallpaper, bug spray, things that people were touching, or it was in their homes. Like people would keep it in their pantries. And she was able to uncover a lot of the effects that DDT was undergoing in the environment and how it was affecting plants and animals and insects, and show how that can impact us and how having it in our homes is dangerous. So she's one of my favorites. She's not an animal conservationist, but she's a very important conservationist.
Yeah. Because you think about asbestos and different things like that people used all the time and they didn't know it was bad. But it's the people, thank goodness, have found out that there are those negative effects.
Like arsenic used to be put in wallpaper.
Yeah, because like, why not?
Yeah. So, and makeup. When I learned
That's
that
healthy.
arsenic was put in makeup, I was like,
That's why I
like
never
good thing
wear
I don't
makeup.
wear makeup.
Yeah, right? That's the real reason I never wear makeup.
It's not because I don't want to. It's because
Yeah.
I don't want to be poisoned.
All right, I have a question for you. Where do you think you would be able to survive the longest? In a desert, the tundra, or the jungles?
I thought about this long and hard, and then I asked my husband his opinion. And we both agreed that I would survive longest in the jungle. When I asked my husband why, he didn't have anything to say. He was like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, thanks.
That was helpful.
But I think I would survive longest in the jungle, even though I'm not accustomed to the environment. I think I would survive the longest there because of my access to water.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the elements can be severe in a jungle, but it's not severe heat or severe cold.
Right.
At least not as severe as like the tundra or as the desert.
More resources than a jungle, because I think I would be the best in the jungle too. Like you have vines that you could use for rope or to make a shelter. Like you have a lot more resources than the tundra or the desert.
Yeah, I guess my real question is, would I rather die by the elements or would I rather die by an animal? And I think I'd rather die by an animal.
Yeah. put me in the tundra, I'm done. Like, nope, I'm out. Like, I
Yeah,
hate the cold.
you're like, how can I end this as fast as I possibly
Right?
can?
Do I have to build a shelter? We can't we just let this go a little faster?
Okay, my next one is, what is your dream cruise?
My dream cruise. I've always wanted to go, even though I hate spiders and there's a lot of things that can kill you there, to Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia. So take a cruise to Australia, maybe throw New Zealand there, the Great Barrier Reef. I want to touch a great white shark or at least see it in the wild. I want to swim with sharks.
That would be so cool.
That would be my dream.
Can I come on your cruise?
Yes, of course. We're going
We get a
together.
girls trip.
Yes.
Just kidding. Nathan would kill me if I went on a cruise without him. We made a pact.
You're like, we will never go on a cruise
we
without
really
each
did.
other.
We really did.
I could probably convince Tanner more to go on a cruise than I can get him to like fly somewhere to go.
Probably, yeah.
So
you might have to convince him to fly there to get on a cruise ship, but
yeah, that's the only thing.
or you could just do a really long cruise that leaves I guess Fort Lauderdale. You still have to fly.
Yeah,
you don't live in Florida.
we'll go we'll just do a world cruise leave from California or something.
Except Fort Lauderdale is not that long of a flight compared to Australia.
Yeah.
So maybe he would get on the plane.
Maybe like, hey, take your pick.
There you go. That's a good one.
Where'd you go?
I would go to. I really want to go to Greece on a cruise.
Oh, that would be
the Mediterranean.
That would be amazing.
The blue water, the food, the people. Yeah.
Am I allowed?
Nothing to do with animals, but yes, you can come.
I was going to say, am I allowed to go? There's just
so
many places.
Right? Actually, Nathan and I were looking not too long ago at how much it would cost. And I think when we looked, it was like only $900 a person or something like that. Not terrible. Okay. But then we have to fly to Spain.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well, never mind.
That's where they get you. Yeah. See, with Tanner, I think it would be Alaska. Like, he's like, I want to go on an Alaskan cruise. So I'm like, I would do that.
I would love to go on an Alaska cruise too.
Yeah.
I would love to go whale watching.
Yes. That would be amazing. Really,
all these trips we got to plan.
Right? I'm like, I just like traveling or seeing new places. But then I'm also a homebody. So I'm like,
also
yay! But then I'm like,
ever leave home?
Right? Okay. I have some would you rathers.
Okay.
Would you rather rediscover an animal that was once believed to be extinct or discover a new species?
I think I'd rather rediscover an animal that was thought to be extinct. What about you?
I think I'd rather discover a new species.
Yeah.
That would be fun to do that, and then you get to like study all its. I guess with the extinct animal, you'd almost have to relearn everything about it too, because it's probably been a while since it's been documented. So
yeah,
I think it'd be fun. Then I get to name it.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
So,
but also I'm kind of like, I'm either going to discover something in the ocean or some sort of insect. Not that I don't care about either of those things. I just don't really love deep ocean things.
Yeah,
freak me out.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of sketchy down there.
Now, if I was to discover Bigfoot, that's a different story.
You're like, dream of mine, Sasquatch.
Honestly.
Oh, so funny. Okay, would you rather have to build a nest in a tree every night or have to burrow and live in the ground?
Build a nest in the tree every night.
One, I'd probably get pretty good at it eventually.
Yeah, honestly. And I think that's kind of cool.
Digging in the ground, you'd be all dirty all the time.
I guess if I'm a human, I would care, but I guess that's a good point, though, because then if you're in the trees and you have a nest, you don't have an insect net, you're going to be eaten.
It's true.
I still choose the nest, though.
Same. All right, would you rather have to eat bugs to survive or have to catch and eat raw fish?
Probably raw fish. I know what you're going to say.
If I had to, I would probably choose bugs over fish. I don't think I could
Yeah.
get myself to eat raw fish.
Yeah. You can barely get yourself to eat fish that's all right.
Right? You're like, I like myself some sushi. You would like make all these little sushi rolls out on your
Sushi
little,
rolls.
yeah, your deserted island that you're stuck
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
All right. Do you have any more questions?
No, that was it.
Okay. Well, I have 2 truths and a lie.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for
Here we
these?
go. I'm ready.
All right. Norway has trained and utilized reindeer to lead them to lost hikers. A group of elephants returned to a grave of their human caretaker and stayed for 2 days. Dogs are able to detect humans under 30 feet of rubble.
I'm going to say the reindeer.
You're top notch. Look at you. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they could pull sleds or something. Norway has not utilized
Reindeer for search and
reindeer.
rescue.
Maybe Christian and Marius can start a new trend in
There we go.
Norway.
Come on, Christian and Marius.
Yeah, if you're listening here, because you should be, start getting those reindeer and training them to go find some lost hikers.
Christian. Right?
Yeah.
Come on, this could be your next best thing.
Right? Okay, and
No,
then
I think... Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think that reindeer are probably too skittish. Their prey instincts are probably a little bit too strong to do something like that.
Okay, Christian, you don't have to train reindeer. We'll find another animal for you.
No, but like you can try. Like I'm all trying.
You can. It's always worth a try, right? Santa did it, so why not?
Honestly, come on, guys, get with the program.
And I missed last time, but like I said, I wanted to do like a fun fact. And this one's going to lead into a future episode we're going to learn more about.
Oh.
Yeah. So, the African giant pouched rat has been trained in Belgium for search and rescue. And they even wear, get this, little vests and backpacks with cameras. Yeah, cameras, location transmitters, and a 2-way radio. Because they can like get into really tight spaces. And they have an amazing scent. Like,
wow.
Yeah, so they've trained them to go down, and then they carry these little vests and backpacks, and then they go to the people who are lost so that they can talk to them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I even Googled, and there are pictures of little, cute little rats in vests.
I gotta Google this.
And little backpacks. It's like
what
the
are they
safety ones. African giant pouched rats is what Belgium uses, but there's a couple other countries that are starting to use rats for search and rescue. I'm going to do a whole thing on search and rescue.
Oh, and they're actually so cute.
Right?
And they'll put some on Instagram. Yeah, let's post it on our Instagram. That's actually so cute.
Right?
Some of it kind of looks like a bomb on their back, but...
Yeah, so I'm going to do a whole little episode on animals used in search and rescue with from all different climates.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So stay tuned if you want to learn more about rats.
Right? And how next time you get buried, you may have a rat come save you. So don't scream. Especially if it's wearing a backpack or a vest.
That's so cool. Okay, well, I think that's all we have for this episode.
Yeah. Hope you guys all enjoyed.
Yep. And don't forget to rate us and follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. And check us out on Instagram at Bravehearts Pod. Bravehearts Pod. Yeah. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. See you, everyone.